So an up-and-coming writer-producer got a legendary group to record his composition. And he purposely wrote the key a step above the lead singer's top range so he could push him to reach for his best. A fierce and passionate performance, if there ever was one. Legend is the singer was sweating buckets by the time it was done, but he killed it. And then this producer had to pitch the song for the third time against the group's regular producer, who happened to be the hottest in the business, singer, songwriter, and producer. Up next, story of one of the greatest songs of all time, going from an underdog to a classic. Hey, music junkies, Professor of Rock, always here to celebrate the greatest artists and the greatest songs of all time. You know, if you believe that a song is the closest thing to a time machine that we have in this world, you're going to dig this channel. Make sure that you subscribe right now so you don't miss an episode. Nostalgia all the time. Hit the red button, check the bell, and that way you always know when our new videos come out. Interviews you won't find anywhere else. Also, check out our latest series on Patreon. We go backstage with the legends at our new live shows. That helps us keep it a daily channel. I'm really excited to bring you another episode from our series Revelations. I love this series because this is where artists reveal rare stories about their biggest songs, fascinating insight about their careers that you really won't find elsewhere. I love the stories of the underdogs. You know, those who go up against the heavies and fight tooth and nail and somehow come out victorious. Well, today's story is one of those great underdog stories. This is where an unknown producer-songwriter named Norman Whitfield took his song Ain't Too Proud to Beg to the top of the charts and became one of Motown's signature songs. The Temptations made this song an absolute classic. The Temps had been reeling off hit after hit at that time with legendary artist, producer, songwriter Smokey Robinson. He was at their side from The Way You Do the Things You Do to My Girl. Enter young up-and-comer Norman Whitfield. He'd had some experience at Motown with Marvin Gaye and the Velvets. Actually, he even worked with the Temps before on the song Girl, Why You Wanna Make Me Blue. He really wanted to be the Temps' consistent collaborator, and he had an instrumental that he felt had a lot of promise. He thought it was perfect for the group, only he needed lyrics. So he actually tapped Eddie Holland of the songwriting team, legendary songwriting team, Holland Dozier Holland, to do this. He even told Eddie about his plan to win over the Temps and Motown to become their go-to producer. Eddie thought he was nuts. After all, Smokey was the best in the business. He was good friends with Motown's CEO, Berry Gordy. But he found the music to be really good, and he added what would become the classic Ain't Too Proud to Beg. This turned out to be only half the battle, though. He would have to pitch it to Motown's famous Quality Control. This was a group who voted to decide what songs would be released as singles. Legendary. First, he had to get the Temps in the recording studio, in which he did. He was ready to pitch the song to the powers that be after that. And the legendary Motown Quality Control meetings, they happened, I think it was every Friday, on Friday mornings, maybe not every Friday. But Friday mornings at the label's famous Hitsville, USA offices. It's very competitive and it could make or break a career. They would vote to decide which potential single releases would see the light of day, or more accurately, the shelves of the record stores or radio. To Whitfield's frustration, Ain't Too Proud to Beg failed 2 times to make it through Motown's Friday morning Quality Control meetings. Berry Gordy liked the song, but he said, I needed more story. So Whitfield went back and had the group record the song again. This would be the 3rd time they recorded it. This time when he got into the studio with the Temps, he pushed their constant lead vocalist, David Ruffin, to his limit. He purposely changed the song a full key higher, than Ruffin's top range to force Ruffin to go over and above. Take after take, Ruffin gave everything he had. By the end, Ruffin had given the performance of a lifetime. I'm going to let Otis Williams tell the rest of this. But it worked, and he knew he had a classic on his hands, Norman did. And at the next meeting, though, to his chagrin, he had to pitch it against the Smokey Robinson Temps recorded Get Ready, another classic song. Since Robinson was the Temptations' hit producer, his song was released as their next single, and Ain't Too Proud to Beg was shelved. It's all right. Cornelius Grant, the Temptations' road guitarist and band director, would recall that when the end result came down, he said that Norman's veins jumped out of his neck because he knew he had a hit on his hands. Well, interestingly enough, the songs Get Ready by Smokey, produced by Smokey and co-written, and Ain't Too Proud to Beg by Norman were released back to back. Find out next who won the chart war. We got the founder and the last living member of the Temptations, a legend, Otis Williams, who tells us the story next. He's going to also discuss the Temps' 60th anniversary and their latest album that just came out just a few months back. We'll also talk to current lead singer Ron Tyson, who's been with them since the early 80s. It's all coming up on Professor of Rock now as we go into this interview. I definitely want to thank our sponsor, Zenni Eyewear. Zenni is the bomb. You know, I've had these glasses for 2 years. I have 15 pairs. It's amazing. You go to Zenni.com, you put in your prescription, you design your own frames. You can see how you look with Zenni's mirror feature before you buy. It's all less than the price of a vinyl record, and they ship them right to you. It's the best deal you'll find out there. Check it out at Zenni.com. Well, Ain't Too Proud to Beg. One of the greatest songs of all time. Again, Norman really wanted it. Motown Quality Control said, well, let's let Get Ready go first. If it doesn't go top 10, we're going to go with Norman. And that really started that partnership with Norman with the Temps.
I know you want to leave me, but I refuse.
See, Norman, him and I were friends. Norman Whitfield played tambourine on Come On. So, and I used to hear the girls talking about, girl, look at that one on there. He sure is tall and fine. If I could get hold of him, something sitting there saying, yeah, and him and I was the same age, 19 at the time. So to come from that, to see this brother grow to be, and I think I read a couple of years ago, he was the only producer at Motown that won some kind of acknowledgement for as a Grammy or something that even the great Holland Dozier Holland them didn't. Norman, Norman started off with Ain't Too Proud. And we stepped so far out of character when we started doing the psychedelic soul. He was, and I never would imagine, because Norman was known for shooting pool. They called him the White Fox. Oh, he made his hustle by shooting pool. Boy could shoot some pool, So from knowing him, tambourine, shooting pool, Silver Fox, that's what they call him. Yeah. And becoming a noted producer, quantum leap. Never would imagine that that would happen. And, like I said, he started doing Ain't Too Proud to Beg, and I Could Never Love Another, Can't Get Next to You.
Plead for your sympathy, I don't mind, 'cause you mean.
One day, Kenny Gamble, him and I were in my room suite talking about the business and what have you. So as Kenny and I were talking, all of a sudden we heard doom, 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 doom. So it cut into our conversation. I'm saying, who the hell is that? That's different. Kenny said, I don't know, but it is different. Sounds good. So we didn't think anything else of it. But it left a thing in my head because at that time, we had let David Ruffin go into Dennis Edwards. Norman and Holland Dozier Holland, they would step it up just a half a key, the key, whereas the tension, when you listen to David, I know you want to see, that's a stretching thing. So it's going to grab you, think, oh, what the hell's happening here?
I know you want to leave me, but I refuse to let you go.
So David was singing. He's just singing. We take it verse at a time because it was really kind of high for him. David was singing, so he wore glasses. his glasses, when he came out of the studio, his glasses were like this here, he's just sweating all over the place, and we up there, come on, David. I know it's happening, but you can pull it off. Come on, baby. And he pulled it off, but when he walked out of there, he was sweating a pound of flesh.
Well, he really conveyed the pain of that song,
Yeah.
And that was what was so great. What did you think when you first heard Ain't Too Proud to Beg? Because you had to know that was something special.
Well, the track alone, when I first heard the track before we put our voices on, I said, that's different.
Yeah.
That's good and different.
Now I've heard a crying man is half a man.
So when I heard the track, because Norman would always come by my house and let me hear what he was going to do on us. And I said, okay, I like that. So when we got to the studio, we went and put the background on, no problem. Norman said, all right, David, go down there and do your thing. And it was a process because, like I said, Motown, depending on the producer, they would always right away you could get the tension, as Holland Dozier Holland would do, like you said, the Four Tops. Some of those songs that Levi was singing, I'm listening and I said, ooh, he's right at his peak.
To cherish and care for you.
Like Reach Out, I'll Be There. Right?
Yeah.
Lamont told me that they raised it. Bernadette, yeah.
They wanted to be Bernadette, they wanted that attention, so you can grab your thing and say, oh, wow. So that's also part of the great success of Motown, because a lot of other companies, they'll write a song, but it's going to pretty much be in a relaxing key. It's up to the artist to bring it across. Yeah. But Motown producers had a different approach.
I'm not ashamed to come and plead to you, baby.
Well, Ain't Too Proud to Beg, that was your first big hit in the UK. It went top 30 in the UK.
Ain't too proud to plead, baby.
But that was a song that I read, you really thought that would be a #1 hit. It came up a little short, it went to number 13, but it's become such a song that's so tied to the Temps.
That's another one. We better not do a show without not having it in the lineup, because it's so loved today.
When I heard that several times that Barry heard it, and he said, now go back and write a little bit more to it. He didn't think there was enough story there. And so then they took the key higher for David. And so there was a lot of work that went into that song.
Oh, well, see, they would hold either every Monday or either Friday, they would hold what they call a quality control meeting, and it could have been said, because Barry was one of those kind of guys, aside from having a great ear, he would like for everybody to be there on time. And I never will forget, one day I'm up there near Barry's office, and Barry's boy, Smokey, if you want to make Mr. Gordy mad, be late. That's what Mickey Stevens said. All right, but if you want to make Mr. Gordy mad, be late. And I said, no, we don't play late. We'll be on time. So Smokey was a little late. He's knocking on the door. Barry, it's Smoke, man. Open the door. It's your boy. For however many heartbeats, that door stay closed. But he sooner or later let Smokey on in. But I said, ooh, Barry don't play about not being on time. So, yeah, great quality to have.
And Ain't Too Proud to Beg had such a resurgence, too, at the Big Chill.
I know you want to leave me, but I refuse.
That's true. Yeah, that's right.
What'd you think about that?
Wow, man, when I saw the actors dancing around in the kitchen or whatever, and they were playing, I said, that's a sign of acceptance. When you get people of that ilk, having fun in the kitchen, dancing, I said, yeah, great song.
And now you're musical, right?
Oh.
I mean, that has brought a whole new generation into the ball game, continuing the legacy.
Yeah.
It's been the musical has been so huge. I mean, it received 11 Tony nominations.
I know.
I know you want to leave me, but I refuse.
Yeah, but I never would imagine that I would see my life story about the Temps on Broadway. And now it's on the road all over, and people are loving Ain't Too Proud. I'm just happy to be part of something that is still lived. And like I tell people, our music, Motown's music, live on even when a lot of us are no longer
no question. Well, the musical is very honest in depicting, and spotlighting the hardships, the ups and downs.
Yeah.
That's what I love about it.
Yeah, well, that's life. So you write about how we live our life. It's going to be highs, going to be lows. Try and live in between all that, because, we all, God always tests us. He's going to test us. I don't give a care how many times you break down on your knees. He want to see if you're strong enough to get up and continue on.
Well, Ain't Too Proud to Beg too is such a great name for the musical. That was the song that it had to be called that. And then also, it's so cool the covers, the Rolling Stones did it.
Yeah.
Rick Astley did it. Amy Winehouse did it.
Yeah.
Ron, you've been with the group since 1983, the longest tenured lead singer in the Temps. Well, let's talk about the new album, celebrating 60 years, Temptations 60. Well, Let It Rain, another great song, the first song on the record here, featuring K. Sparks.
Well, that one, I said, because every night that we would leave here, I would go home and I'd be up to 2, 3 o'clock, almost 4, listening at everything. And I said, Otis, most cases we would always open up an album with a funk tune, a ballad, a mid-tempo. I said, no, I want to catch them by surprise. I want to do a little rap jazz. And I've talked with certain disc jockeys. They said, that's very interesting, because most cases they wouldn't do that. I said, well, that's been the Temps all along, stepping out of the norm and doing something abnormal. And that's why we opened it up with that. And would rap, and the way the young man did it, rap jazz, Temptation. If it was role reverse, I said, I want to hear that. Temps doing some rap jazz. And those that I talked to that I'm being interviewed, they said, very clever. Step out of character.
The world need change, the world need peace. Seen a lot of things that's going on all up in these streets.
Well, what the Temptations have always done, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Stepping out of character, many different facets and levels and layers to your music and to the lyrics and to what it means to people.
Yeah.
What'd you think of the song?
Hey, every song in the album to me means something. And I relate it to certain different things, but yeah, I love it,
So simple. We need peace, we need change, save my soul.
So the Smokey Robinson Temptations track Get Ready hit number 29, while Norman Whitfield and Eddie Hollands and the Temptations track Ain't Too Proud to Beg, it hit number 13. Now both hit number 1 on the R&B charts, but Norman's gut was right. Ain't Too Proud to Beg was a huge hit and is also the name of the Temptations' new musical, Ain't Too Proud. The life and times of the Temptations. This is the new electrifying musical that follows the Temptations' extraordinary journey from the streets of Detroit to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. With their signature dance moves and their unmistakable harmonies. How they rose to the top of the charts and created an amazing 42 top 10 hits, with 14 of those reaching number 1. The rest is history, how they met, the groundbreaking heights that they hit, and how personal and political conflicts threatened to tear the group apart as the United States fell into civil unrest. This thrilling story of brotherhood, family, loyalty, and betrayal is set to the beat of the group's treasured hits, like My Girl, Just My Imagination, Get Ready, Papa Was a Rolling Stone, and today's featured song, Ain't Too Proud to Beg. It's being performed all over the U.S., including Detroit, Michigan, where it all started this very week. We'll link to the schedule below. You gotta check it out if it comes to your town or even travel to see it. Thank you so much for watching. Leave us a comment about the Temptations, this classic Motown hit. What are your memories of the song? What do you think about David Ruffin's amazing vocal performance? You can also get the Temptations' new album 60 by clicking on the link below. If you like our content, we invite you to subscribe. And don't forget to check out our new merch and our Patreon. Until next time, 3 chords.